Hi, my name's Adam Oldfield. I'm the Managing Director and Founder and Product Expert for Force24, and I want to quickly show you how you can drag and drop your way to success in the Force24 platform. It's not about working hard, it's about working really smart, and having products like Force24 by your side mean that you can work even smarter. Let the computers do the job while you do other things that are more important. So first things first, let's get into the platform and let's have a look at how we can build a journey. By the way, this is filmed in a live environment, so if I make some mistakes, don't hate me, it is what it is. Okay, so let's log in, off we go. Now, the first thing I want to do before we actually get into the journey editor is we just quickly want to make sure that you know we're a UK-based business, which doesn't only mean that from a data sovereignty perspective, we're making sure your data never leaves the EEA, but what it also means is that we can offer support in your time zone. Now, we offer a free training and support for life on a 2-minute SLA. So at any point, if you're stuck, no, you're not. It's not just referring to our help articles, our help videos. It's about actually getting live one-on-one help, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. All the time that you're at work, the aim is that we're there helping you on a 2-minute SLA, so you're never alone. What we find is, because of that, our 97% client retention rate, which means we get people deeper into the platform by more training. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look at the Journey Manager. Before we start, I've also got my Force24 water bottle here, an essential part of building good automation. So, I'm in my automation platform. Now I can search for lots of different journeys using either the name, I can find the journeys I've modified recently, but we also have this tagging and projects function. And this tagging and projects function means that I can keep stuff neat and tidy rather than just relying on big long lists of things. I build a project, and that project would say, I don't know, this is this week's project. And in that project, I can add folders. And in those folders, I put things like emails, I put journeys, I put microsites, whatever. So I'm never going to be far away from what I'm working on, which is really handy. Because as you can see, we've got 799 live journeys. Now, let's get into this. So I've just clicked that new journey. So let's pretend we're sending an email out to our customer base, let's say, a real simple rudimentary requirement. So I'm going to, first of all, select that button, and I can see I've got to give it a name. This, caps is not my strong point. This is my journey. I'll put some numbers in because I've probably already done that a million times. I've then got some enrollment settings which help me understand whether the audience should run through this multiple times or whether this is a one-off on this instance. I've got auto stop as well, and cover all the intricacies in training. So don't feel like this is the only contact you'd have with you. Training whenever you want. So here's the canvas. We start with a blank canvas, which is quite daunting for some people in the early days, but once they start to realize how simple this is, it makes life so much easier. It's like drawing a picture to send an email. So watch this. I'm going to drag and drop my start audience. Who am I sending it to? Well, I'm going to send it to my marketing list of hot customers. So let's think about this in terms of, let's imagine this was MailChimp. I've just selected one of my lists there. That's it. Done. Job's done. I've selected my audience. Brilliant. But I might say, oh, okay, but that's pretty basic. Now, actually, some of the people in that list, I don't want to send this message to. So I can add additional rules to it. So I can say, okay, well, what if they've already downloaded the guide that I'm asking you to download? I have these activities where I can have a look at emails you've opened, pages on the website you've looked at, where you are, CRM values that we may have pulled across, whatever it may be. So I can look at your entire contact profile and say, but for people that we're already talking to, let's not do that. For people that are this, whatever. This is how the use case grows and it becomes more powerful. So let's just say I want everybody in my hot customers, but I don't want them to go on this journey if they've already downloaded our Save 8 Hours guide. So I say if your web activity contains Save 8 Hours guide, I don't want you to go on it. Oh, and if we're already in a current discussion with you, you will be in my in current discussion segment, which means that I will not send to you. So, and I select the is not. That was close. Okay, so I've built my start audience and I'm ready to go. Next is, we've got to send an email. Okay, well, we just simply drag and drop an email stage on there, really easy. I give it the email a name. So what would we call this? Well, this is the first email. So first email in journey, whatever. Okay, and I give it a subject line. So hello, first name. Read our guide. Oh my goodness me, sorry. Read our guide. There we go, brilliant. And I can select one of the templates. I can search for a template or I can select a template. I simply select it. There we go. We've got, in just a second when we click save, we've got a much bigger version we can see in the actual environment, so we make sure we got the right one. But basically, the newest templates will be at the top. So if I'm working on something, that's where it'll be. Okay, I then can select the override from, or which is basically the name that it comes from. I can select the reply email address if I want. I can select which brand I'm sending on behalf of. The Force24 platform allows you to have many brands in a single environment. The only thing is you've got a common unsubscribe policy. So most accounts have got a single brand. Is it a marketing or transactional? Transactional circumvents unsubscribes, which should be only used if you are sending a transactional email. Which subscription preference does this relate to? If I'm sending out a case study, I'm going to say this is a case study. That way, people that have said I don't want case studies don't get this email. Now, I'm going to save that there. I'm going to touch this tags in a little bit. So I'm going to save that email there. There it is. I just drag that, I connect it up, and I drop this end journey on here. Drag that, connect it up. That's it. I've done what you do in MailChimp to send an email campaign out in seconds. All right, it took me a little bit longer because I had to explain a few things, but normally I can do that in about 20 or 30 seconds. It's more intuitive, it's easier. But then you say, but what if I wanted to schedule it? Well, that's a good point. So, okay, let's drag on this delay object. And this delay object says, I don't want to delay it. I can delay it for a number of days. So it might be I want it to go tomorrow. It might be I want to go in 3 days, whatever. Or it might be that this journey is in response to something that you've done, like a brochure download. So I want to delay it for 5 minutes after you've downloaded the brochure. I want to say, hey, how was the brochure? Or it could be just a fixed group of people that I'm sending an email to, in which case I wouldn't use that. But I might say, I don't want it to go before tomorrow at 9 a.m. Perfectly reasonable. Or I might say, actually, I'm not very good at the days of the week. So I don't want, tomorrow might be a Saturday. So do you know what? I only want this email to go on Mondays to Fridays between the hours of 7 a.m. and, I don't know, 5 p.m. Okay? So what that's going to do now is, again, this is more if I don't know what time the user's going to trigger this journey on or whatever it may be, but it's a very important part of automation that I reset the user's action values back down to a sensible time when I can communicate with you. So if it is a brochure download and you downloaded it at 2 in the morning, I don't want to be talking to you at 2 in the morning every time. I want to reset it to be 8 a.m. the next working day when we'll start talking to you and the sales team start work at 9. So it all makes sense. Okay. So, okay, I've done that. So I've added my schedule in there. That's lovely. That's it. Job done. But what if I wanted to actually milk my content? What if we've invested thousands in a great white paper, or we're holding an event and actually one email isn't going to do it? Well, okay, that's easy. So what we do is we drag on these make decisions. And these make decisions allow me to then interrogate the database again to say, did they download it? What did they do? So again, I can just quite simply look for the thing that I started with, which was, have you downloaded our Save 8 Hours guide? That's what I'm going to be I'm asking you to download. I want that as an instant decision. And I will duplicate that delay object. And I will say delay for 3 days. But take that tick out and keep that tick in. Okay. There we go. Drag that onto there. Drag that onto there. Oops, missed it. Drag that onto there. So what that's now saying, send an email, wait for a few days, then ask the question to the data set, who's downloaded the guide? Well, if you have downloaded the guide, I'll end the journey for you because that's an appropriate thing to do. If you didn't, it might be that we then send you another email. So we change the email up, give it a new subject line, whatever, and off we go. You see, all I'm doing now is duplicating. So here we go. Connect that no decision onto there because I know that it's safe to send you the email. You've not downloaded it yet. within these make decision objects, have got as much control as I want. So I can reference values such as the segments you belong to. I can reference values about the pages on the website you've looked at, any page on your website, by the way. I can look at your lead score. I can look at all sorts of things. And this is where, again, most people are sort of, oh my goodness, is this going to be really scary and hard? No, because we've got templates. We can show you how to do this. This is really easy. And what we find is within the first month, most marketeers are absolutely killing it. Whereas when they come to us from other providers after a year of basically banging their head against a brick wall, they've given up. Within our platform, our team are on board to basically do it for you free of charge when you need the help. Okay, so let's save that out. So I've built a really, really simple two-step journey. I've got loads of other components which I'm not going to go into in this journey, such as split testing, sending SMSs. SMS is quite an interesting one because sometimes what I want to do is I want to say, hey, first name, reply yes. And I want somebody to reply yes. Let me just give it a turn replies on. I'll say it's a marketing SMS and I'll click save. So once I've replied yes, I'm just going to duplicate that journey and I'm going to say, okay, look for whenever anybody has activities reply message equals yes. I'm doing this so quickly, I know. I appreciate that it's not easy for everybody to understand first time they look at it, but I want to make it demonstrate that actually spend a bit of time on it. It's very easy. So I can send you an SMS based on any parameter that you want. You've looked at a certain page on our website, you're in a certain group of people, whatever that parameter is, trigger you an SMS that says, hey, download our guide or reply yes and we'll send it to you. Somebody replies yes, they hit the yes criteria on here, we send them an email, whatever you want to do. It's really cool. I've got actions, I've got subscription preference management, I've got loads of things that I could show you on this journey, but that's about what I want to show you. But before I go, one more thing I want to show you is one of mine. I'm going to show you this one which we call the nurture sequence, and it's just a sample nurture sequence. And this one represents 8 weeks worth of outbound marketing. This is just to show you what it looks like in real life. So as you see, I use my projects folder just there. This, like I say, represents 8 weeks of marketing. Okay, now that looks scary as heck, and I get that, but it isn't, because all we're doing, forget this SMS for a second, all we're doing is we're sending an email, we're delaying, we're making a decision. We're sending an email, we're delaying, we're making a decision. But you'll notice I've just gone make decision, copy, make decision, copy, copy, make decision, copy, copy, copy. I've done that specifically and left those names in there just to demonstrate to you that I've gone bang, 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 bang across the line. And then once that 8-week campaign's finished, guess what I do? Guess what I do? I tell you what we do. I duplicate it and I build another 8-week campaign. Ready to go. I just put different emails in. I just put different email templates in the journey and just quickly update the parameters. So I say, oh, I don't. Obviously, that was last month's email campaigns. This is this month's, and we're talking about this. So I built some new emails. Off we go. Now, power is at your fingertips. I've given you the examples there of dragging and dropping for email-based journeys. There's loads of other things we do. Most of our journeys at Force24 tend actually not to be email-based. They tend to be just moving data around, putting values in different places, putting people in different places, moving them from this segment to that segment. So I understand that my data is permanently in check, permanently up to date. That's the power of automation. So this is a really rudimentary, basic intro. Now, we're also doing 3 other videos that you might want to look at, which are how to build data capture forms, how to build drag and drop microsites, and how to build drag and drop emails. So hopefully you'll have a watch of those as well, and hopefully we'll see you again in the not too distant future. Thank you very much.